What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Back with game number 3 between Batuhann, the grand prize of €50. Punkstar, again, big thanks to him for hosting the show match. Got my win in game number 2, felt much better, starting to get a little bit more relaxed into this game. Batuhann decides to pick Ghost Lake, and I'm thinking, well, I don't really know what he's going to play, but I'm feeling like Ghost Lake, no matter what he picks, I'm going to be happy with the Zeus game. If he picks Greek, I can get some value out of my centaur because it's nice and open. If he picks Egyptian, I can go for an Athena rush or do some standard like town center boomy play, no problems. If he picks Norse, then I can go for an Athena rush or go for centaur. And if he picks Atlantean, I can go for centaur. And he does actually end up going with the Oranos. And this is the matchup that I feel pretty comfortable with when I'm switched on, when I'm warmed up, when I'm ready to really give it my all, because it's a really difficult matchup from the Zeus side of things, just mechanically speaking. You have to do a lot of stuff right to win the game, and this one, it's not the best of spawns for me. It's a double boar spawn in the main base, and they're not next to each other, which means I have to spend another 50 wood on a granary to get the final ball, which does really hurt me in this early game. So I can't exactly remember what I decided to do, but I think I will be throwing down another granary here, or eating a herdable. It doesn't really matter. I think advancing here at 4 minutes and 2 seconds is what I want. If I can get a nice fast advance line, 4 minutes 2 seconds or 4 minutes 16 seconds, those are the types of advances that really give Greek a big advantage in this matchup. So I am not going to be able to get that. I'm going to have to go for a 430, which really does give the Atlantean player time to get out his Murmillo and get out his Terma and get a really nice Valor off to defend kind of anything that's going on. I don't know. I just did this. I just noticed it then. I don't know why I moved my villager off of gold all the way over to that other wood line when I had a very nice straggler tree right next to my storehouse. That would have been a much better idea, but I definitely was thinking I don't need gold anymore. I need the villager over on the wood, and he's going to get me the wood to build the temple. But as you can see, he's going to be moving on to the temple anyways, so a little bit of an inefficiency there. Not the biggest of deals. But what I'm worried about now is what I've scouted on the map is I've scouted 1 caribou pack. So in my brain, it's 2. Effectively, what I'm thinking is I've got 2 options. Either I go for an Athena rush because he's got an exposed gold mine here, or I go for centaur. With only having the 1 pack of caribou here, I'm thinking Athena, probably not the best idea. So I haven't actually scouted my second one. As soon as I see that second hunt there, I go, damn, probably could have been an Athena play here, because it means that I have a second hunt somewhere, and I can steal his second hunt, because he's going to basically be finished up on one of those locations, and I can just be putting pressure on and move forward and grab his second hunt a little bit later in this game. So he's also got an exposed gold mine. So if my scouting was just a little bit better and I found where my secondary caribou were, I think I would have been able to pull off a pretty strong Athena rush here. But it's not really that big of a deal. I think that Athena is the kind of safer play. I think that you don't need, or the easiest play, you don't need as much mechanics to make Athena work as you do with centaur. But centaur definitely something very strong as well. So I think I spotted the caribou over on that one little block of black on my side of the map there. So I know where it is. I'm gonna scout the rest of my map out and see what's gonna happen. All my resources coming in nice. It's a really nice clean early game. Slightly behind 430, but not that big of a deal. and I'm going to be able to get my units going really, really fast here. So one thing to note is if this is a better map spawn and I don't have to put so many granaries down, I should actually be able to go for an immediate barracks here and start making hoplites basically straight away. But in this situation, I'm going to have to delay that quite significantly and go for the Sylvan Law in order to get the Sylvan Law out first. So those are little things that can kind of change the nature of this map and all the other situations that come with that. As I'm scouting out his other secondary hunt, everything that matters in this early game is effectively is pressure onto the Oranos player to keep them off you until about the 7-minute mark. If I can put pressure on until about the 7-minute mark, it allows me to eat the entirety of that secondary hunt, and I should be in a good position here. And having pushed him off that hunt, him not having any hunt over there, I'm a little bit annoyed that I kind of fell for this. I didn't need to go and send my units that way. I should have sent them to the top side of the map. Should have been going over there immediately. You can see that he's actually already over there. I did check that with the kind of line of the fog of war check, but I know he's going to be there. There's nowhere else he can be as I throw my barracks down. It's very, very late. Well, it might have been a stable, one of the two, but it's very late for me. This is not part of my game plan here with Zeus. I want to have that down very early, but a little bit of an unfortunate map where that's concerned. Immediate bolt onto the Murmulo here as I was waiting for Sylvan Law to come through. Just going to run around in a circle here, not lose any HP, and should be okay to continue putting pressure on for the moment. Most important thing in these fights is to make sure my hero is targeting down the enemy heroes. So I need to effectively just make sure that Odysseus is consistently hitting this. I click ceasefire here and he gets a big shockwave. Not gonna lie, it's a really good shockwave. I was a little bit worried that I'm going to be losing a centaur here and I really didn't want to. In hindsight, at most I would have lost half HP on both of those centaur and would have been completely fine here. But yeah, I'm still on that secondary hunt. So in the back of my mind, I think if I lose a centaur, then he's going to immediately be able to put pressure onto me. I want to finish that hunt, get back into my base, and be set up making these military units out, and should be okay. But in hindsight, that ceasefire was as a bit of a waste. Probably should have waited for maybe the second shockwave when he's got a few more heroes to have a little bit of a better time. But alas, mistakes be mistakes. It's not like it's a game-ending mistake. You don't really need ceasefire in this matchup. If you play it well from the Zeus perspective, I think that ceasefire is a little bit unnecessary. And now all I'm going to be doing from now on is looking to get some snipes here. I kind of misclicked on the Murmillo there, so I tried to refix my click there onto the Murmillo, and I kind of screwed that up. So I didn't get a pick there, which I should have. And now I'm going to start putting some pressure onto him, trying to keep him, again, just trying to keep him away from my base for as long as possible. This is probably a mistake, not having my heroes in this army. And I just kind of send some units to their death here as my villagers finish up on that hunt. And that's kind of a cue to me to say, I don't need to leave my base anymore. I can actually just get watchtowers here and then just sit in my base and enjoy having some sort of a defensive advantage, having an defender's advantage, trying to pick off units with my centaur and sitting in my base here. But I don't really make that connection here in this game. Maybe it's nerves, maybe it's just whatever it is. I still feel like my army here, if I can micro it kind of well enough, is going to be able to trade relatively well. His centaur, sorry, he's not a centaur, his Terma here are kind of useless. They don't really do a whole lot, so really all I have to do is pick off his heroes, and then my centaur are going to be able to be very, very oppressive unit against this army here. And you can see he's just about to run out of heroes, and he will have to retreat back. So I can deal with that completely fine there, taking that fight, even if it kind of looks a little bit bad. My macro here, not the best. Kind of overdo it on the gold quite a bit, but you make a mistake, you got to fix it up. Take the villagers off of gold, chuck them over onto wood. I'm going to have to be making farms and getting a town center here. There's not enough food for me to go to the Mythic Age off of one town center, which I would have really, really liked to do in this situation. You can see the map here. You can't really see the entirety of the map, but I will. I'll spoil it. The gold mines here are not the easiest to grab, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be able to get a decent Mythic Age through Hera to make that work. Like I like to, in this matchup, if I have the opportunity as Zeus, if I have enough herdables, if I've got enough hunts, if I'm playing well enough in the game, I like to do one town center Mythic Ages, but this is just not going to be an option here in this game given the map that I have. So we're going to be looking to grab a second town center soon. That's why I put a whole bunch of those villagers over onto wood, and we're going to have to start farming. So I'm just basically thinking about that at this point. Moving forward and being aggressive here is arguably a bit of a mistake. I should just be moving forward with the centaur and just running around with like two separate groups of centaur sniping units off. I don't need to have them all in the same group here, but I'm going to lose a couple of units here, and this is something that is definitely not a good way to be playing. Don't need to be taking this fight, and I will have to be sacrificing some units here to keep my guys alive. But I mean, if I can take down these heroes, again, these centaur, they should be able to beat the army of the Oranos. So taking these fights, if I can kill the heroes off, is it's not the worst, and it does keep him on the back foot, which is something that is really, really helpful against Atlantean. And now with me dropping this town center here, I know that most Atlantean players are normally going to be having an oracle or something on that town center. So I've got two options here. So one, I can just try and put as much pressure as I possibly can on, or two, I can retreat back to that town center and just hope that I can hold whatever he sends that way. But it looks like I'm just going for the aggression here. I'm going to send my units back, and now I'm finally starting to separate my centaur into a much more useful kind of position here. I'm looking for a villager that is not close to a manor there, and I do manage to find one. He does manage to get into the manor there, but I think that I get a little bit of value here, sniping a Mamilla or two, trying to just figure out exactly what I should do. Population slowly creeping up here. It's probably a little bit worried about some stuff here. I managed to snipe a citizen, which is nice for the trade of a centaur there, and trying to get out here, it shouldn't be too bad. I see the town center going up, so I know that I'm making a relatively good decision here. I think potentially if he stayed one town center, I don't know exactly what sort of a map he's got in terms of, he's already got his farms up, but if he stayed one town center here and rushed Mythic Age, I might have been in a bit of a problem, because he would have been able to push my town center, and I don't know if I'd have been able to hold it. But luckily, him going for that town center does give me some hope in this game to have a survival. But I do lose my 3 centaur there while this is all going on, while I'm trying to distract and get my own town center up and prevent him from doing anything. I've been very lucky in this game thus far with that back town center having berries on it. So grabbing that one, having berries there, allows me to delay my farm transition just a little bit more, or at least allows it to be a little bit smoother here. Taking this fight here is arguably incorrect after losing all those centaur. If I didn't lose those 3 centaur here, I probably would be able to take this fight and win. But without those 3 centaur, I'm having a bit of a trouble here, as his heroes are maybe just too plentiful here to prevent my centaur from really getting into the fight. His Miller able to take down the rest of my units, and I'm having a retreat here. But I'm still okay. I'm still not too bad of a position thus far. Probably need some more military buildings down and starting to get some Toxotes out here. It's a unit I don't normally recommend building in this matchup, but given the situation and given how little food is here, I think that it's a decent idea to get some Toxotes here. But I'm a bit slow on that one. I've still got a bit of gold left in my main base, but there is going to be a gold problem coming fairly soon, so I've got to think about how I'm going to defend that second gold mine. Luckily, it's nice and close to my town center, and you can see Batuhann is going to be attempting to push in over there, make my villagers retreat. Going to have to try and keep them as alive as possible here. He can very easily sit under this town center. I'm fine to take that fight. Going to be searching for some raids while this is all going on, potentially picking off some straggler units here, but it looks like he's got a hero back there, which is unfortunate. He's playing around the old centaur cheekiness very nicely. There's I think I'm fine with this fight. I think he's probably taking a fight here that he shouldn't be, which is good for me, because I am technically just a little bit behind in terms of my trades. I'm probably feeling fairly equal in terms of resources here. I have picked off a citizen or two and put some pressure onto him, and he hasn't really picked off a single villager this game. So I'm feeling like my economy's in a pretty good position. So really all I need to do is take some good fights, take this game to the late game, make sure I can get all of my town centers, and make sure I get to the Mythic Age at a decent time to prevent him from launching a big attack with like Tartarian Gate or something like that, or Vortex. So yeah, I'm just happily taking better fights now. I'm changing kind of the thought process in this game. One thing that I think I need to do maybe just a little bit better here is get a few less Hippocon in my army. I genuinely don't believe that they're actually that good here anymore. Potentially just stopping Hippocon altogether and just going all in on hoplites here probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm going to throw down some archery range. That's finally there, realizing he doesn't have that many Terma here at all. It's mostly just Murmillo, and I didn't make the connection earlier, but he's got all those farms up already, so his food economy is probably pretty good here as he's continuing to push in. But yet again, whenever he runs out of heroes, my Centaur are going to start being incredibly useful. So he has to retreat back here, he has to respect those, and now he's out of Valor. So I could arguably right now I could go ahead and throw like 7 villagers onto favor here and go for many more Centaurs, but that does play into the fact that now he's got 2 town centers, potentially 3 town centers coming up. He's going to have a lot more favor, and he can manually heroize those Murmillo and the Centaurs. They do cost a lot, and while they are a good investment in this matchup, I'm not sure if it's going to be the best call here. One thing that I wouldn't mind having done here is throw a wall up on that bottom side right now that there's a bit of time here for me to kind of think about my choices and my actions in this game. You can see him getting some Promethean into his army. Whenever I see Promethean when I'm going for Centaur against the Atlantean, I'm actually really happy because it means he's not spending favor on heroes, which are vitally important. So I probably shouldn't be taking this fight out in the middle of the map here. I could be taking it closer to my town center here, having the town center involved. But I don't feel like it's that bad of a fight, and he's feeling like he should take it because I'm not underneath my town center, so I'm actually getting some value there. And also, given that he hasn't had to micro his Terma at all this game, the kind of almost surprise factor of Toxotes turning up kind of shows, kind of like he doesn't micro them in that fight. And that's like a little bit of a mental trick when you just randomly change your composition. It's a bit of a mental trick, can be pretty good, as we do see him going for his 3rd town center over here. The Oracles coming in to say g'day, and I'm like, all right, I'll pick those off and try and deny that town center as best as I can. I do not have enough military buildings to really take a full-fledged fight here, and that town center is most likely going to be getting up now. As you can see that Batuhann has sent his Terma over there to try and take out my Toxotes, and I kind of have to just retreat here and say, all right, you're absolutely right. I can't win this fight just yet. Make a pullback, try and save as many units as I can. Arguably, I could have just retreated. Well, I mean, you see how many units I retreat, but I could have just left some units there to tank and then rebuilt them. But you know, sometimes you never know what exactly the pathing and the amount of damage you're going to take while doing a retreat is actually going to be, as to whether it's important to do that or not. But farm's starting to come out nicely. I've got a good amount of economy. I think that I'm I'm still not 100% sure if I'm equal behind or in front on the economy here. Here's 3 town centers, but I'm going to be looking to grab my 3rd town center now that I managed to hit the Heroic Age. Hitting the Heroic Age is a kind of a big deal because it allows you to have access to Heracles, which when it comes down to it, the Oranos player most likely in this matchup is going to be getting themselves, because he does hit a good raid there, most likely going to be going through Thea here and having a access to Dryads. So you need the Heracles and everything else to deal with that. Not only that, clicking up through Apollo here is going to be a big help with the with the end goal of getting to the Mythic Age. I need to get to the Mythic Age in this matchup in a timely fashion. So him getting that third town center, him going through Thea here, I feel like I made the right call here going for that Mythic Age, or not Mythic Age, Heroic Age here to try and keep up in this game. I have so much food now. The only thing I would have liked here is maybe to just stop centaur production for a little bit, spam like 3 more buildings down, and then I would have more production to be able to spam out hoplites here moving along in this game. I got all the wood now to do it, but I'm kind of saving that wood to sell for gold to get to the Mythic Age here, because I know that Tartarian Gate is coming, and I need to do something about it. There's a couple of options against Tartarian Gate. Option number 1 is to bring the hoplites back, have your heroes there to take it out. Option number 2 is just get to the Mythic Age through Hephaestus. I click up through Hephaestus, fantastic, managed to get to the Mythic Age, happy days here. I should be able to deal with a Tartarian Gate here, nearly pretty much like just with a Bellerophon and a Colossus, should be able to take out the Tartarian Gate while I defend everything else. That should be completely fine. So I do manage to pick up a couple of units there. Still getting straggler kills here with the centaur, so that's really nice. And I'm finally starting to put some walls up on that location over there. Hopefully that villager does build them, because there is a little bug that happens with wall building if you don't right click on it afterwards. Now I think it did decide to build the walls, but nonetheless the heroes chasing after my centaur over there. We see the dryad coming in here, and I should be thinking, how can I continue? I'm basically just like, I just got to stay solid here, allow him to make the call about where we're fighting, and then try and deal with it like that as I pull all my units back and he's starting to attack me. This is a good attack here, but he just doesn't have the units to really take down a town center. And with the fortified town centers coming through, and also with Masons now, I'm clicking that up. I should be completely fine here to defend this one, especially with my army coming through here as well. Now he sends his blue dot in, Hecate comes in, and I am going to be losing my temple. I've only got the 1 temple here. He clicks it, and he manages to deny my beautiful Colossus. And this is absolutely huge, because Colossus takes something in the vicinity of 40 seconds to train. Bellerophon takes 20 seconds plus to train. And I will not be able to take this Tartarian Gate down as easily as I would have liked here. I got a lot of favor in the bank, so I can get Forge of Olympus, I can get everything else out. I did manage to defend my town center. I got that gold mine in the back there, which is going to be really, really good. Do manage to click up on the Forge of Olympus there, so I should be able to get that fairly soon. Is Bellerophon going to be moving in there? If I micro this very, very good, I can easily take that down, but there's just too much going on here. You can see now the units targeting my Bellerophon. Time to just run around here. I didn't Amana it well enough. I should have gone for like a circle, like run the Bellerophon around in a circle to distract those Tartarian spawns. Definitely an option there to consider next time, but I just thought that the Bellerophon will be able to beat them all by himself, but he does actually end up falling there, it seems. Oh no, I brought him out into the fight because maybe that's a better option. I don't know. I think maybe I thought the Colossus could take the did I delete that Colossus? I thought the Colossus could take the Tartarian Gate out by itself, which is obviously or not obviously, it's not the right call here, as now my village is getting pushed off of that gold mine over here. I'm going to have to send a ton of villagers over onto the upwards gold mine to deal with that, as a Lampede is searching around trying to figure out something to do there. Getting that Bellerophon back out to do what I was trying to do before. Very, very silly. Losing Toxotes over here to the Tartarian spawns. Not the worst here, because I'm distracting them away from killing off my villagers. But yeah, I'm a bit of pain here. But Batuhann's Tartarian Gate is getting a little bit too much value out of this. But I mean, the question really is, am I getting more value here out of my Plenty Vault than he is getting out of his Tartarian Gate in terms of damage? And I think answer is probably maybe, to be honest. Like, it doesn't feel that bad here, because I'm continually trying to get over onto this gold mine over here. Going to send all my villagers there. A bit of a mess at this point. as there's just a little bit too much chaos going on. But I'm full villages at this point, trying to get all my upgrades out. I've got full copper at this point. I can get more upgrades really soon as I start getting my resources in. And if I can get to full armory upgrades here, there's almost no way that a Hecate Oranos is going to be able to beat me if I don't misstep. I just have to play solidly and not lose any tangible thing here. Like, make sure I get my trade route out, make sure I've always got access to a gold mine, which does bring me to the next point in this game, which is I've only got, I don't know, 4,000 gold left in that top gold mine over there. So I have to figure out how I'm going to get a second gold mine here, trying to do some garrison micro to take down his dryads over here and his Stymphalian bird, as my units are kind of a little bit idle. I haven't set my waypoints all too well in this game. Classic me, I'm just not something that I'm very, very good at. I'm still trying to learn how to play Age of Titans, play auto queue and everything. Back in the day, I would have control groups on all my buildings and I'd be manually training them, making sure they're moving to the right place, but it's just not something that I do in Titans for reasons, and that's just something that's for me. I have to work on that, but hey, now I'm getting my upgrades. I feel like I've stabilized here. I do still need to be thinking, how am I going to be dealing with this gold mine situation? Trying to throw up some storehouses to be a little bit more efficient over on that gold mine over there. As my army is continuously getting pushed back because I've got, I don't know, I just got idle military up the wazoo here, so that's just classic me. But a bit of a draining early game here before things start calming down. I'll throw up another temple there and potentially start getting some more Colossus out, but I think maybe Colossus aren't that useful here. I think the better unit to be building would be the Heliopoli, rather than investing all the villagers in Favor and Colossus. Maybe just one villager on Favor, build 2 fortress here and get some Heliopoli out would be a really, really good way forward here. I do realize that I don't have a fortress and it's going to be a worthwhile investment here. Throwing down a fortress there as well, sending some villagers forward to deal with that. Also getting myself the Temple of Healing here, trying to keep my Bellerophon alive and well. In terms of what would have been a little bit more efficient there, I always think the Temple of Healing is the way to go with Bellerophon. It's such a high value unit, takes a long time to train. I do manage to keep my Colossus alive there, which is very, very nice. And it takes around about 30 seconds to re-heal it if it's low HP on that temple. And that's about the time it takes to rebuild it anyways. So long as you don't have to take it too far out of the battle to re-heal, it's great. So I should be throwing temples up everywhere. In fact, putting a temple in front of my town center here wouldn't be a bad idea either, because then that would heal my units right in front of my town center, which would be very nice indeed, as Batuhann now starting to put some big pressure onto this town center. 2 Fire Siphon are there, but it's not the biggest of deals. I get my fortress up on this gold mine, which is very, very nice. I've got my Bellerophon here somewhere, so that's going to come in and start helping out with these Fire Siphon here, bringing all my villagers off of the gold to help out. Going to be selling some wood, get myself architects to keep my buildings alive and in check, as I'm able to take down one of the Fire Siphon. Another one appears though, and this is getting a little bit scary as my town center does end up falling, but I've got so many villagers here, and I know that this is going to be an important moment. I need to make sure this gets back up. I'm full population here, so I'm winning this fight really, really hard, and I can get that town center back incredibly quickly here. But he does manage to take it down, no problems. He is going after this bottom side over here, and I need to figure out how I'm going to defend this. I'm thinking I've got Underworld, but I just need to stabilize. Just need to get some villagers over there at this point, taking down his location over here and getting my town center up. And I do decide, yep, do not want to be losing anything over here. Going to be jumping straight through that Underworld. I want to take out that palace that I foolishly allowed to get up over there, and destroy everything over here so I can take that gold mine, because it is going to be a very, very big loss condition that I'm going to have to deal with there. As my opponent now is happily fighting that Colossus, which I'm very happy about, and I'm able to clean up this location on the left side of the map. So very, very happy about that there, as My villagers here, I'm not really doing what I want them to do, but I do manage to chuck them through that underworld there. They're going to immediately jump onto that gold mine, and now I've secured yet another gold mine, and I can start thinking about market in the corner, starting up the trade route, and being in a really good position here. As he's taken all my units out, I'm basically fully armory upgrade. I don't think I've got my iron weapons here, but iron mail and iron shield kind of is all you really need. It's very, very important. As I send even more villagers over here onto the other gold mine, you can see how much gold I'm spending. I need to spend on Bellerophon, which is 400. I need to spend on Colossus, which is 300. I need to spend on Heliopoli, which is 200, over and over again. So I'm in need of quite a bit of resources here as Batuhann is realizing how important that bottom side of the map is, and he's sending everything over there. Now I'm going to take this opportunity now that he's attacking that bottom location to try and finally get some attacking of my own going in this game. Pushing in to take out his palace on the front there. As he does send in some units there to take out my villagers. I'm still trying to get that iron weapons out, just not able to do so just yet. Luckily that Colossus is targeting down the Arcus there, but I think my Heliopoli is killing off the Colossus, which is a bit upsetting, but it is what it is. As now I'm going to be able to take out a palace over there, and exactly the problem that I'm having in this game, which is that gold mine at this point, Batuhann is equally going to be having here. I know there's no other gold mines on the left side of the map, even though I haven't scouted it because he's all the way on the right side of the map. I see that there's 3 gold mines over there, so I'm going to put all of my effort in now to be pushing through over here and trying to pick off his palace and pick off his gold income, because that will lead to a victory for us if we can manage to do that. But still got to be very, very careful. He can still hit me with some surprise fire siphon, take down my town center, take down my fortress, get a gold staff himself. He could potentially also have a trade route already going here, having a huge amount of resources as well. I'm going to use this opportunity to throw a fortress down on that forward gold mine as well to prevent Batuhann from mining that one. So trying to control the map here as best as I possibly can, as the Colossus coming through over there to finish that off. He is able to defend my Heliopoli push here, but I don't particularly care. I've got no timer in this game. I will happily play a Zeus versus Oranos matchup for like 50 minutes to an hour, because I know that eventually my army should be able to overwhelm the Oranos. So I don't need to kill off his town center, but I can just continually put pressure on everywhere and try and push him out of this game. As I'm going to throw up my market, realize, yep, it's market time. I got 2 gold mines left. I'm nice and stabilized, and in that moment I get the gold staff to some degree, pick off a whole bunch of citizen, and Batuhann does tap out. And you can see in the video there, my wrist is in serious pain. This is something that I don't really speak to very much, but I do have a wrist problem. I don't know what you call it. If I play too much Age of Mythology, it does hurt. It just hurts too much. And playing Zeus versus Oranos, or just playing against Atlantean in general, you have to actually do a lot more actions than in any other matchup, and it does end up really breaking my body quite a bit. And I had to send a message to Punkstar here saying I don't even know if I can continue in this series because, you know, pain in the wrist. But I said, give me 5-10 minutes and we'll get into game number 4 and we'll see how things can go there. But yeah, it's bad. I need to get that sorted out. Maybe fix some things in my room. If anyone's got any suggestions for things that I can do, I got a really nice video someone shared, which I've been doing every day to do some finger strengthening exercises, some wrist exercises as well, and that's been helping. So that's the thing. But a very, very fun game nonetheless. Love playing Zeus versus Oranos. It's really fun running around the center, sniping units and trying to outplay your opponent and having them try to outplay you back. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, please leave a comment and hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.